Okay, so I said I wasn't gonna say or show the video until after the Bondo, but we figured this out, and it's gonna be a good tip if you're planning on doing this with a hail damaged car. Is we took a typical palm sander, you can use an orbital sander, and the big flat surface of it, what it does is it exposes all the dimples. Now you can clearly see it because it's matte. When it was shiny, it was a little difficult for the camera, but especially when we run over with the orbital sander, you could see here, I haven't actually sanded that yet, the individual dimples, but because of the flat surface, every recess is gonna be exposed. It's gonna be really easy to identify what we really need to dig in on with some heavier grit sandpaper. That's what's primarily gonna be Bondoed. Yeah, the Bondo is gonna feather across the entire thing, and then very lightly like a typical Bondo job, and then super finely sanded before the vinyl. Because vinyl, if you have laid vinyl flooring or anything like that, any imperfection to an extent will show through. It is way more forgiving than paint, but still we want to make sure it is going to be a smooth surface. So that's what you use your super fine grit sandpapers for. And we'll just keep doing this until we get to that point where this whole thing is going to more or less be Bondoed. And now, as we sanded this, we could see exactly how many dents there are. And there's got to be, I don't know, 110, 120. But whatever, it is what it is. This is not a bad hailstorm. I mean, we get hailstorms out here all the time. This is a New Mexico hailstorm. They look like something I've got in the past in my cars, like 1 inch hail, maybe 1.25 inches. And really sporadic. It really isn't that big of a deal to fix a car like this. So be careful when you get some of these hail damaged cars. Primarily the rails is what you want to worry about. If this has severe dents, to pull them is going to cost you about $100 a dent if they're a quarter size or more. This is what's called double aluminum or double steel, folded steel. So they charge you about 1.5 times the price plus a markup on top of that to pull those dents out. And this is the one thing that's you can't do anything about it unless you're a buy shop guy. At that point, what's the point? Go get a wreck car for cheaper and do it that way. But you can't replace these. You can replace fenders. Those are easy. Those are about $150 each at a junkyard. These fenders, thankfully, are super clean. But all right, that's it. We'll continue, and I'll record it probably, like I said, once the Bondo's going in, or maybe toward the end when we're sanding it. We'll see how it goes. So I brought the car outside to bake the Bondo a little bit when it was sunny. That didn't last very long. It is Colorado. We're getting another storm in tomorrow morning. So I'm just going to show you an update of what I've got going on the Genesis coupe. And what I have planned for it. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, this is called like a glaze coating or something. Gotta forgive me, I'm trying to get over this throat thing going on. The cold isn't helping. Anyway, you could see every white spot here. That was a recess. That's the I don't know what it's called, 2-stage Bondo with the hardener. That's all this stuff. That was the deeper ones, and then you use a glaze coat to get a finer finish on it. And we brought it out here to kind of bake dry as much as we could that glaze stuff. It hasn't been drying too well. It's been really cold, and now it's getting cold again. So I'm about 40 now. It's going to drop to like 13 tonight. And unfortunately, it can't go any faster. I wish it could. Believe me, I want to get this thing done. But hopefully this week, sometime, we'll get it done. And not very much more to update so far. And as this video progresses, the next step is going to be just one final sanding. Everything is basically smooth. So if I give you a shot from above here, you can see that, I mean, it's going well. And then there shouldn't be much left. After this final sanding, we're going to come over it with a automotive primer. And then hopefully that all feels nice and smooth, and we'll be able to vinyl wrap that. And hopefully that works out. Okay, so we're basically done. We went over the roof 3 different times, and I have maybe, gosh, a couple spots I can kind of feel. Like there's one right in here somewhere, but the trim's gonna cover that. But overall, I just brought it outside to wash it down, or not wash down, wipe it all down with some damp towels. There's one right here, I could feel it. But anyway, it's, I would say, about 90% better. That's a arbitrary figure I came up with, but just overall, because the worst parts, so you could get a really good shot of it here now with the light, is all these spots. The darker ones, of course, being the final glaze over. And this is exactly why you don't use this glaze coating on deeper ones. And if you look close for painting, maybe that's not as good. Some of these, you can see if it's deeper, they always have like some very faint surface cracking. Anyway, that is not part of why I care about what I'm doing to this car, because the vinyl coating, the vinyl wrap is coming tomorrow. And I have to finish this by primering it with some automotive primer, doing a fine sanding on top of that primer. And then I did find a video on YouTube actually showing how to remove this on this exact car easily. I'm happy for that guy. I forgot his name, but I'll give him cred when I find that video again, because I'll need to look it up again. And then this is easy to take out. That's not a problem. But that should be it. So that's going to be the end of this video. The next video should be probably the wrapping, or maybe after the wrapping. And I'm going to do a video on all three of the cars that I bought at well, I've bought a lot more, but the 3 I have right now, between the Scion I got my tow rig I got from IAI, Scion I got from Copart, and this car, why I buy these cars specifically, why I chose these cars, why I think they're the ones that made it easier. Maybe if you want to even flip them, I don't necessarily always flip. I have done a couple. That's not why I do it. I enjoy it. I tend to get really fickle and sick of cars quickly. I'm sure many people do that. And I got sick of losing a ton of money buying newer cars and getting sick of them in 9 months and selling them. I'm the same way with everything. I'm the same way with this pontoon. I bought that to flip, actually. I bought it like a near winter purchase, and that's gonna be, this is what I do. I build homes like this. That's my house that I built. But so I just get bored. That's why I do this. So hopefully this channel will be mostly me expressing the different things that I do. One of them being, you know, cars, boats, homes, whatever I do that keeps me busy. And at the same time, it really does make good amount of side money while I can support my hobby. And I hope that's something you guys are interested in watching. If so, smash the like button and subscribe. And hopefully that'll motivate me to produce more of these videos. I'm not huge on shooting tons of videos or wanting to do this. It takes a lot of motivation for me, and I think that'll really help. Comment below whatever you want to ask, and I'll hopefully get to it. Thanks, guys.